AEW Dynasty is done. So let's sit back, kick an ash, and let's cross it out. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CrossYouOut podcast. And of course, I am your host, Eric Cross. And in today's show, well, we're going to get through AEW Dynasty from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And let's go through the I never do it, but today we're going to do it. There was only 2 matches. The 0 hour starts off with Nick Wayne and CRU versus AR Fox and Top Flight. Nick Wayne picks up the victory for his team. It was decent, decent heater match to start off the crowd while they're piling into the arena. And then we go into the Max Caster. I completely give it away. The Max Caster Open Challenge, which was Anthony Bowens, comes out and surprises the people and picks up a victory against his former scissoring partner. Then we go into the main card, the opener. The opener for the show is going to be the first men's round of the men's tournament for the Owen Hart Cup. This is Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. They kind of messed up a little bit at a certain point in the match, but they readjusted. Everything was fine. Will Ospreay picks up the victory on this one. It was, again, great match. Good opener to start the show. Then we open up with the tag team title match. The Hurt Syndicate. They hurt people. Versus the Learning Tree. Maxwell Jacob Freeman puts his nose in business where he doesn't belong, hits and helps the Hurt Syndicate to pick up the victory. Again, another kind of lackluster match for the tag team titles. Hopefully with this, we can start a kind of a different, a different angle for the tag team titles, because it's kind of, the Hurt Syndicate. I understand they have an established name. They're the tag team champions, but at the same time, give them something good. Let them have a good series of matches with whoever's. They can actually put them an actual tag team to put them against, and we'll go from there. But the Hurt Syndicate comes up with the victory. They are still your AEW Tag Team Champions. We go into the first round of the Women's Owen Hart Tournament Cup. Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. I'm gonna go on a very big limb. I really thought this was kind of like the New Japan's tournaments, where you have to do the points and stuff like that. But I saw it was a single victory win. I really wish they would have gave it to Julia Hart to kind of establish her as more of a threat and more of, hey, my first loss is against you, and that's where this unless they have, Mercedes versus Tony Storm at All in Texas, then I guess. But I really felt like, Julia Hart should have won this one. Really should have gotten the push to give her a little bit more momentum and give her some character development. And hey, she beat the TBS champion, the former TBS champion, beating the longest reigning TBS champion. That's money right there. But what do I know? So Monet picks up the victory. She moves on in the tournament of the Owen Hart. Let's go and see the AEW Trios title match, the Death Riders versus Rated FTR. And again, you can tell the tension was in this. You can tell that FTR was not having it. Cash Wheeler was trying to be, like he wasn't, I understand my partner's kind of being, something, but I can't handle it. The Death Riders pick up the victory on this, and after the feint spear that Wheeler Yuta jumps over Ed or Adam Copeland to miss the spear and almost hit Dax, and man, it looked like they were about to turn right there, but Dax, I think it was, Wheeler got the pinfall victory for the team, and they're still the Trios champions. But after that, they kind of were like, okay, let's just stop this. Everything's fine. We lost. It's okay. Edge or Adam Copeland picks up, Dax, and they raise their hands, all three of them, in solidarity as a trios. And right when Cash walks away, here comes Dax and hits him with the pile driver. Cash comes back in and he is upset. He is pissed off. Why did you do this? Why did you do this to Edge? And he picks up Edge, and they go into what is it? Their finisher. Oh man, I can't even remember the finisher. They hit him with their finish. Both FTR are now heels, bad guys, and another pile driver, assisted pile driver onto the chair, and then either two or three concertos, single concertos to Adam Copeland, and the surgically repaired neck and all that stuff is just a travesty. Damn them souls to hell, as JR would say. Good little angle. You didn't see that one coming. You didn't see FTR kind of. I knew they weren't gonna split up. I knew they weren't gonna be like, we're gonna make Dax and Cash singles competitors. They need to be heel tag teams, and that's good. I like it. We go into the women's world title match. Timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bay, and this was a good match. Very strong woman versus kind of less strong, weaker opponent. They told a good story. The only way that she, Tony Storm was able to pick up the victory, which she won, was a small package. And, good match. I have really no complaints about it. It was good. Now, the only thing I do have complained about is this next match, is the Ring of Honor World Title match, Bandito versus Chris Jericho. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. The Chris Jericho matches need to be back on Dynamite. They need to. He does not need a spot on every single pay-per-view. He does not need a segment on every single pay-per-view. It is getting to the point where it's just very ridiculous. Very ridiculous. But Jericho did pick up the victory for a second, which they overturned because Jericho, he hit Bandito with the bat, and one of the referees came out, showed the official that was refereeing the match, and they restarted the match. Bandito picks up the victory. He is now your new Ring of Honor champion. I believe this is his second title reign as Ring of Honor champion. Again, I'm not really familiar with Ring of Honor in the last couple of years that it was running by itself. But I do know Bandito was their Ring of Honor champion before the switch. And yeah, that's good. It was a good, again, Dynamite match, but again, and this was another Dynamite match that should have been on Dynamite's main event. The TNT Championship, Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. Again, you know, I don't get the flip-flopping type of things that they're doing. Like Daniel Garcia's 1 minute he's good, next minute he's being an asshole. You can't do that tweener bad guy heel or face gimmick, that good. I personally do not like Daniel Garcia at all. His gimmick and his style of wrestling is, I don't like it. But Adam Cole picks up the victory, and he is now your TNT champion. Again, Dynamite match. And we go into the co-main event, the AEW International Championship. The champion, Kenny Omega, versus Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Bailey. And let me tell you, this was a pay-per-view matchup. This was supposed to be either should have been the main event or should have been where it's at. And great one-on-one, or great healing by Ricochet, cowardly heel. He did a little too much, but at the same time, it was necessary for the story. Good back and forth matchup between all three competitors. I, again, feel that that Ricochet really should have been more of a spotlight in WWE when he was there. I understand he's not going to be the main event. He's not going to be the world champion. But, almost to that level, I guarantee he should have been right there. But, Ricochet, where he's at now, building himself up to the AEW audience, and most people already know who Ricochet is. And they obviously want to see a match with him and Will Ospreay one more time, again and again and again. But this match right here, I don't want to say it seemed a little clunky, because it wasn't, but it was. I don't know. It looked a little centimeter off, so to speak. But again, still, even though for that little critique right there, still a great match. Check it out. Go see it. Kenny Omega picks up the victory, and he is still your champion. But after the match, this is where you hear the dinner bell ringing, and it's about to happen. Kenny Omega versus Okada. One more time for AEW, and I guarantee you that's going to be at All In Texas. They gotta build this card up to be a huge show. So what do? You get a 6-star, 7-star, 8-star, 9-star, whatever star Dave Meltzer gives it. Kenny Omega versus Okada is a true main event matchup. Don't put it the opener match. Put it at the right in the middle or even right before the main event, the second to main event, because this match needs to. It's just gonna be a really amazing match. Kenny did, kind of looked pissed off, got out of the ring and walked off, and raised his hand. Okada raising up the belt. Are we gonna get a unification match for both belts, or are we gonna, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with these two titles? Okada's really not defending the title as much. Kenny does defend it, but again, this belt, these two belts, the international and the continental titles, or whatever, I can't even remember what Okada has. But either way, those two belts need to go away, unify them into one title, because honestly, the tag team titles, the trio titles, the women's title, the ROH title, the TNT title, the international title, the world title was all on the line tonight. That's a night of champions, basically. And then the Owen Hart tournament gets a belt at the end of the tournament. But nonetheless, I cannot wait for All In Texas. That is going to be amazing. We go into the main event. It was shenanigans all about. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland, coming out as Static Shock. I loved it. I popped. At first, I was like, "Oh, is he Black Lightning?" But no. Then I was like, "No, that jacket looks way too familiar. That is Static Shock." I was so happy. I popped hard for that one. But again, Swerve Strickland comes out, and the fans love him. The fans absolutely love him. This was a crazy plundered, ref bumps, everything all in between. Everybody coming out to help out. Again, great kind of psychology match for the fact of, they wanted you to feel like, can Swerve do this after everything that he's done, after everything that Jon Moxley and the Outriders and Sharina, I can't even remember her name. The entire group of the Outriders have helped Jon Moxley stay champion, and just them continuously interfering in almost every single match that he's in, and that world title is under is basically captive, basically. So can Swerve come out and destroy and take away that world title from Jon Moxley. When Swerve hits the Swerve Stomp, lights go out. And who is right there? Those EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks interfere, and surprise, they come back. But beforehand, Hangman came out. He looked like he was going to hit Swerve, but he was also looking like he was going to hit Jon Moxley. The Outriders come out. The Joe, his group came out with, to set up them as trios contenders. The Bucks at the end coming out, hitting the EVB trigger. Man. And Jon Moxley is still your world's heavyweight champion. Who is going to take this title from him? I really have a feeling, and I really hope that at All In Texas, it's Jon Moxley, steel cage, or ladder match or something crazy against Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. And they should even make it everybody's barred from ringside, and everybody's barred from the ringside area. Something to that effect. I don't know. But I feel that Swerve Strickland is going to become a 2-time champion, and he's going to dethrone Jon Moxley at All In Texas. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm not writing anything. So, overall, AEW Dynasty was absolutely amazing. Again, getting it, ordering it on Prime, didn't really have any issues except right in the beginning. Kind of late start, right? I don't know if there was supposed to be a video package right before the pyro started or what, but once my feed came on, the pyro was already hitting, so I don't know what happened at that. But again, I'm pretty sure it was just a video package to set into Dynasty. But again, amazing show. Yeah, we'll go see what's going to happen next. I have next show possibly will be a cigar heavy show because I haven't done one in forever. I've been doing most of my EDC stuff, my pocket dumps, new stuff that I've actually picked up. The next thing I'll probably be talking about is some more stuff that some more cigars that I ended up picking up. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, also I want to say to everybody that helped out with doing a video for Adam Ginsberg at the Adam Ginsberg Memorial Cup for the West Coast Wrestling Company. Thank you so much. I know everybody was busy. I tried to get Stafford in one of the videos. He was running around. I didn't want to bother him. It was an amazing show. I really had fun. It makes me miss wrestling all the time, but it was a great show. The show that happened for the memory of Adam Ginsberg last episode was actually really amazing. Thank you for sharing it. Keep on sharing it. Show your love to Adam Ginsberg, and definitely thank you guys. I am going to get on out of here. So with that being said, Cross out. Good night, everybody.